Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk on two-dimensional array which are also known as 2D arrays in Java. So let's start the video. So what is 2D array? They are nothing but arrays of array. So if we are having one-dimensional array and if we combine one-dimensional array, we get what? Two-dimensional array. So therefore 2D arrays are called as arrays of array. We can consider 2D array as matrix. So what we have in matrix? Rows and columns. Similarly, in two-dimensional array also we are having rows and column. So for explaining you two-dimensional array, first I will create one-dimensional array and then I will show you how we get two-dimensional array from one-dimensional array. So here what I'm doing, I'm creating an integer array ARR1 and I'm giving some value to this integer array. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then again I'm just copying and creating a new array with a name ARR2. So let me change this name ARR2 as well as let me change values also. So I'll give value like 10, 20, 30 and 40. I'm creating two integer array and they are what? One dimensional array. So ARR1 will have what? 4 values as well as A is also having 4 values. So total how many values I am having? I am having what? 8 values. If you don't know how to create one dimensional array or how to declare, initialize, use one dimensional array, certainly you can go and watch the video which I have created for one dimensional array. Instead of creating two one dimensional array, what I can do, I can combine this and I can create what? One two dimensional array. So since here I'm having 4 values as well as here I'm having 4 values, so I can create an array which can store my values like this. So for making two-dimensional array, first of all, I have to write data type. So since my ARR1, ARR2, they are of integer data type. So therefore, I am taking int only. And then instead of passing only one rectangular bracket, I am going to pass two rectangular bracket. So the first one represent what? Row number and second one represent what? Column number. And then after this, I need to pass what? My array variable name. And then I want to declare value here. So I need to write curly bracket. And in this curly bracket, what I'm going to do? I'm going to pass the same value which I have passed in my ARR1 and ARR2. So here I have passed the first value. Now for the second value, I need to provide comma and then here I can paste this value. So actually what it has done, it has created what? 2D array. Now then we have to decide how many rows it is having and how many column it is having. Let me split in proper way so that you understand. So this is going to be my first row and this is going to be my second row. So total rows I'm having as 2 and how many column I'm having? I'm having what? 4 column. Size of this array I'm having 2 rows and I'm having 4 column. So 2 multiplied by 4, I'm going to get 8 values. So I'm having what? 8 values here. You can see here also we had 4 values in ARR1 and 4 values in ARR2. So total 8 values. Similarly, if you are creating two-dimensional array, it will also have what? 8 value. So how I'm getting 2 over here? Because I'm having 2 rows over here. So this comma decide what? Rows. So now what I'll do, I'll add one more comma and now let me add one more rows. So let me take 100, 200, 300, 400. So one thing I would like to tell you over here that in Java, it is not compulsory to pass the same column. You can have varying column also. That concept is called as jagged array. I'm going to create separate video for jagged array. So here I'm having 4 column. Here also I'm having 4 column. Here also I'm having 4 column. So how many rows it is having? It is having now 3 rows. So this is my first row, this is my second row, and this is my third row. So now what will be the total values? I'm having total 12 value. Now why I'm taking only values of type integer? Because my ARR3 is of type integer. As we already know, array store what? Values of the same kind or same data type. So here we have to pass the value of the same data type. So it's not like that you are having different rows and columns, so you can pass different types of value, like here you can pass integer, here you can pass float, here you can pass string. It's not at all like that. The value is going to be of integer type only. So this has done what? This has created what? 2D array. Now after creating 2D array, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to print this 2D array. For printing 1D array, we have just used a single for loop. So for printing 2D array, I'm going to use two for loop. The outer for loop is going to be for rows and the inner for loop is going to be for column. So now let me run two for loop. For int I equal to 0, I less than 3, which is nothing but my number of rows, and then I plus plus. So I am going to use for printing my number of rows. So I have to take help of nested for loop for printing my two-dimensional array. Now inner loop I am going to write int j is equal to 0 semicolon j less than number of columns. So I am having 4 column and then j plus plus. And then in sout, what I can do, I can print the values. So what is my array name? My array is 3. Now how I am going to access value of this ARR3? It is two-dimensional array. So you need to pass rows as well as column. So what is my row? My row is nothing but I variable and my column is nothing but my j variable. So it is going to give you what? Your all the values of your ARR3. So let's run and see what output we are getting. So you can see what I'm getting. I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, which is my first row, 10, 20, 30, 40, which is my second row, 100, 200, 300, 400, which is my third row. So suppose I don't want in this format, I want it to be printed in proper row wise format. So what I can do, I can just remove this ln from here. So now let me add one more line so that it should print in proper format, that is sout blank. And here what I'll do, I'll put some spaces so that element should be separated by space, and then I'll run. First row has been printed, second row has been printed, third row has been printed. Now let me explain you how this code is working. So initially I'm having the value of I as 0 and value of j is 0. So what will happen? It will go to ARR3 and it will try to print what? ARR0, 0. So we have to understand what is ARR0, 0. So let me go through one diagram and explain you. So you can see here I have drawn one table, or you can say matrix, and here I'm having rows and these are what? Nothing but my column. So total 4 column I'm having and 3 rows. Since array index starts from 0, therefore I have represented column by 0th position as well as row also by 0th position. So if you want to access value of an two-dimensional array, then you have to pass row index as well as column index. So if you are accessing first value of one-dimensional array, then what you used to pass? You used to pass 0. So similarly, if you want to access value of two-dimensional array, you have to pass row number as 0. That is the first row you are trying to access. So if you can see in this row, I'm having first value fixed, that is 0. That means I'm trying to access what? Row number 0. And then second index you have to pass as what? Column number. So here which column value I want to access? I want to access column 0 value. So therefore I am writing ARR00. So ARR00 means what? First row and the first column value. If I go to next value, that means what? First row and second column value. So here you can see what I'm having, ARR 01. So ARR 02, which is nothing but first row and third column. And now last we have what? ARR 03, which means first row and the fourth column. So if you are accessing row wise, then here you can see my row is what? Fixed. And what is changing? My columns are changing. Therefore, I'm trying to use what? Nested loop to print this value. If I want to print my next row, that is row number 2, then what I have to do? I have to pass 1 over here, that is index of second row. And what is my column? My column is 0. What is my row number? My row number is 1 only, but my column has changed. It has come to the second column. Therefore, ARR 11. Row number is second and my column number is third. Therefore, I am passing 1 and 2. Now here we have what? 1 and 3 for the second row and fourth column. So again you can see my row position is remaining common, and what is changing? My column position changing. Similarly, we have for last row. If you are reading value column wise, then what you have to do? You have to keep column fixed, and what you have to change? You have to change row number. But generally what we do, we read element row wise. So we have to keep row fixed, and what we have to change? We have to change columns. So therefore, I am writing nested for loop. Now, let me go back to my program and show you what is ARR 00, my row number 0. This is my row number 1. This is my row number 2. Here I am getting ARR 300. So what will happen? It will go to ARR 3 and it will try to access 0th row and 0th column. So what I am having at 0th row and 0th column? I am having value 1. So I am going to get 1 as my output. Then again J will be incremented. J becomes 1 now. So ARR 3, 0 and 1. So what is at 0 and 1? I am having 2. Similarly, J will be incremented for the next value. J becomes 2 now. So ARR 02. So this value will be printed and J becomes 3. ARR 03. So 4 will be printed and then J becomes 4. 4 not less than 4. It will come out of loop and it is going to print you what? Next line. So this way you can print what? Two-dimensional arrays value. Okay. So I have shown you only the one way for declaring an array. There are several ways for creating array variable and assigning value to them. So now let me show you that also. Now I'm using different methods for creating array variable. So I want to create arrays of string. So here I'm writing string and then str, then new string, and then you can pass the row and the column. So total how many values I will be having in this array? 2 multiplied by 3, I will be having total 6 values. So this way you can do what? You can create reference of your array variable. Here I have created another string array str1 and I have given size as 2 by 2. Now suppose I don't want to do in this way. I want to declare value to this str variable. So I can do that. So for that what I have to do? I have to just remove this size and then just give this curly bracket and then assign the value the way you have assigned over here, but instead of int you have to assign what? String variable. So here what I have done, you can see now I have taken this value as well as this value. So how many rows I am having? I am having 2 rows. And how many columns I am having? I am having 2 columns. So this is another way of creating what? Array as well as assigning value to array. So let me tell you few more important points regarding this two-dimensional array. So suppose I am creating integer array like this a1 comma a2. So now the question arises that what will be type of a2? So a1 is over here two-dimensional array. So is a2 is also two-dimensional array? So the answer is what? Yes. The way you declare your normal variable like this. So in this way, what will happen? J will also become what? Integer type. Similarly, here if you are writing two-dimensional symbol, so this A2 is also going to be what? Two-dimensional integer array. The same concept we have in one-dimensional array also. Now suppose I am writing int and then after this I am writing B1 comma B2. Then what will happen? This B1 and B2, they will be what? 1D array. Okay, like here we had what? A1 and A2 as 2D array. Similarly here B1 and B2 will be what? 1D array. Let me change this statement slightly. I am writing what? Int and then array symbol, and here I am writing C1 and then I am giving this notation and then comma I am writing what? C2. So what will happen over here? My C1 is going to be what? 2D array, because one square bracket we have over here, another square bracket we are having over here. So C1 is going to be 2D array and my C2 is going to be what? 1D array, because I am having only one square bracket over here. Okay, so these are the different ways for array declaration. You can use any of these ways, but the most preferred one is what? This one. If you want to declare and assign values to array, you can use this syntax. So there is one more way for assignment of values to array. So let me show you that. So I'm going to take this str variable. In my str variable, what I want to do, I want to assign values at 0 row and 0 column. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write str, then square bracket 0, that is row number, and then again square bracket column number 0, and then whatever value you want to give, you can give. So for example, I'm giving value as CS corner. So this is another way where you can assign values to your declared array. So if array has already been declared and you want to assign values later on, then you can go for this method also. So 0, 1, that is my next column value, which is nothing but Sunita. I am on first row only, but I am assigning value to my third column. So that is what going to be my third value. So this way you can assign values later on also. So this completes my today's topic. In this video, I have shown you how to create an array, different ways for array declaration, as well as different ways for assigning values to an array, and how to print 2D array, that also I have shown in this video. In my next video, I am going to bring what different programs on one-dimensional array as well as two-dimensional array. So stay tuned to my channel. Student, if you want any program based on particular topic or any program which you are unable to do, you can certainly post that in comment box. I may create video for that also. And if you like my content, if you like the example which I am giving, if you like my programming skill, please do subscribe to my channel and share my channel as much as possible. And don't forget to hit on the like button. Thank you student for watching my video till end. See you in my next video. Till that, bye bye and take care.